They surrounded me with Christian people, with loving, supporting parents the whole time I was there.
At 9 years old, I can remember talking to my sister, you know, if we stay here, we have a chance.
I've asked God why things have happened to me and why I can't have parents like the other kids. And throughout the years, I realized that I do have my parents, and I do have a huge family.
Since 1955, Children's Homes Incorporated has provided loving Christian homes for children whose parents cannot care for them. Our mission is to provide a substitute home for dependent and neglected children, and to restore the broken lives of children and families.
The background I came from was a real abusive background, and I was with my biological mother, and her husband was an alcoholic and would often get drunk, you know, 2 or 3 times a week. And
our mom was an alcoholic, and we were having a lot of problems just with my mom, and our stepdad was sexually abusing us.
My dad ended up molesting me and my sister. It was really scary as a kid.
Tammy Smith arrived at Children's Homes in 1992 at the age of 10 after an aunt intervened to remove her from an abusive home.
That first night we went to the Children's Home, I think we showed up, I want to say like 1 or 2 in the morning. I remember walking in and I remember thinking, wow, this is a really nice house. Sandy, our house parent, was very loving, I remember she used to hug us a lot and just was very affectionate and she'd cry with us. She was just very sweet.
Tim Norman had been in foster care for about 3 months when he and his sister arrived at Children's Home in the summer of 1976.
We actually met our house parents, and I think that the biggest thing that I remember about them was the caring and the love that they had. And they immediately brought us in just like we was their children.
Melody was removed from her mother's care when she was only 10 years old. After spending time in foster care, God brought Melody and her younger sister to Children's Homes.
I was here for 4 months before I met my house parents that I live with right now, Mr. Gary and Miss Kelly.
She was very quiet, but I could tell by just the first couple hours with her that we were going to connect, and it was going to be a good experience for both of us.
When we arrived, my sister told the house parents, "Oh, hey, we love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches." And prior to coming, there was times when you'd go a week, didn't know if you were going to get a meal. And school was great because you was guaranteed 1 meal a day at school. And after she told them that we love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I think that's all we ate for about 3 months. Now looking back, you see that there's a lot of counseling going on from the house parents with us. They're asking a lot of questions and making sure they're involved.
The Children's Home definitely offered me a safe environment, first off, just to spend a day at, a night in a safe place. Going to a Christian school, because we started out going to a Christian school and going to church, which we never would have gone to church, being around Christian people who cared.
It was one of these Christian couples who would become Tammy's mom and dad.
Tammy and I just bonded. We played a lot of basketball and just really loved each other.
My sister and I always used to play basketball. And so Todd would come out there and play with us.
And we had lots of fun and just cute little curly-headed girl.
I just remember it was a fun bond to have with him.
We left the Children's Home as relief parents. I was working full-time as a carpenter building homes, and my wife was a housewife. We had another child, and during that time is when Holly was talking about Tammy coming and spending Christmas with us.
And I just remember her not ever having a sweet Christmas where you sat around as a family, and that's when I first realized where she had come from.
We got there, and I remember it was time we were all going out for our Christmas pictures like everybody does. And my mom said, okay, grandkids, now all of y'all come get in the picture. And Tammy was standing out away from everyone, not knowing what to do. You know, of course, she got in the pictures, and I have those pictures now, and I can look back and just the hollowness in her eyes. There was a lot missing, you know.
Even after leaving children's homes, Todd and Holly stayed involved in Tammy's life and eventually brought her to live with them.
I mean, I feel like obviously Todd and Holly are my parents. You know, to me, when we go home to Christmas or Thanksgiving, that's where we go.
The day she got married, I was able to give her away, which was awesome. Micah Brinkley was there, and a lot of the children's home people, old house parents that she knew. And when she married, she changed her middle name to Garnett. And then she encouraged, since had a son, Titus, and she named him Garnett as well. And what an honor.
Children's Homes offers our children educational opportunities through our own Balcom Learning Center and local schools such as Crowley's Ridge Academy.
The teachers at Crowley's Ridge have, you know, through church or through school, work with the home a lot.
Sam Jenkins, a teacher at the Balcom Learning Center, was principal at Crowley's Ridge Academy when Tim arrived.
I remember Tim when he first came. He and his sister came in together at the same time. And he was a little bit, I guess, awkward, a little bit scared of what was going on. But it didn't take Tim very long to, with his personality, to get acquainted and to become a part of the student body real fast.
We'd come in from school, the house parents would have us, you know, make sure we're doing the study hall, and if you get a C, you sit at the table for 30 minutes and until you get that C up. And next 9 weeks, if you got the C up, you're good to go. I sat there one semester for 30 minutes, and from that point on, I had A's and B's, and didn't want no C's, you know. And that was a big contribution, the discipline and consistency. I mean, the home was, they had the discipline, but they were very consistent with it.
I love Crowley's Ridge Academy, and they're like a second family to me.
It was at Crowley's Ridge Academy that Melody discovered a hidden talent.
It was in 6th grade, and Mr. Tim liked my height. And he goes, hey, I want you on my basketball team. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
She kept walking, you know. They kept having to blow the whistle and call walking.
My first basketball game, I stuck the football under my arm and ran down the court. Did I say football? Exactly. See, I didn't know what I was doing. I ran like I had a football.
And we would laugh, and she came home and she said, Miss Kelly, I don't know why they kept saying I was walking. I was running with the ball.
From that humble beginning to her basketball career, Melody has developed into the starting center for the Lady Falcons.
My first year here, she was very shy and not as brave on the basketball floor as she is now. And she's really blossomed into a good leader and a good scorer. And I expect good things out of her the next 2 years. Off the basketball floor, she's constantly smiling. If I see her in the hallway, she's, hi, Coach Amy, and smiling, give me a hug. She's just kind, tender-hearted, just loving, very loving kid.
Tammy also attended Crowley's Ridge Academy, getting not just a good education, but meeting her future husband as well.
We were in the same grade, 6th grade, together on through graduation. And we both went to Harding, and then both graduated and then got married.
Mary Jane Fagala was Tammy's English and drama teacher at Crowley's Ridge Academy.
She probably wasn't quite as disciplined, didn't have herself quite as focused on school as she would be focused later on after having, you know, been at the children's home for several years.
Obviously, going through stuff that I'd gone through, I wasn't where I needed to be because, you know, moving from one place to the next and everything that was going on in my life, I needed a lot of help and missed a lot of school during the time in between.
The children's home does a lot with teaching life skills, teaching people how to exist in the world, people who may just be great people, but who've had kind of a disadvantage at the beginning of their lives. The children's home is able to take those kids and train them into being productive citizens. Really, that's what I saw in Tammy. A lot of good raw product there, but The children's home helped her to be able to be a contributing member of society.
The foundation children receive at children's homes also includes spiritual training.
My salvation, with no doubt, is based off the children's home. And without the children's home, I would never have learned about God like I do, and that's been a key in my life. My tour in Iraq was 06, 07. I was the Charlie Company commander in the Paragould. We did route clearance. Basically, we cleared the IEDs off the road, the thing that got everybody back. People can say we was lucky, they can say, hey, we was good, but the bottom line was God was with us. I thank the Children's Home for giving me that rock to stand on, to give me my spiritual growth.
This place, this home for disadvantaged children, changes lives, turns tragedy into triumph, and has an impact on families for generations to come.
Going to the children's home has made me definitely a better mom, because for one thing, seeing, the house parents that I did have, I was really fortunate because I had a lot of great house parents. And then meeting Todd and Holly, just having their example as well.
Just from knowing my wife and seeing how she's grown up, I'm sure she's an unbelievable wife and a great mother.
And a great friend. She bonds to people, and her friendships, that just amazed me.
My life is obviously a 180 from what it would have been. The path that I'm headed now, my marriage, raising children, I know that I would not have Christian values. The children's home has made the world of difference.
I never thought that I would be where I'm at today. I was the first one to get an education in my family, a college degree. I was a school teacher for 14 years, been in the National Guard for 23. And two things in my life that you can eliminate, and if you eliminate either one of them, I would not be where I'm at today. And that's the children's home and my wife.
And while Melody's story is still being written, her future certainly looks bright.
Some of the things that I've learned by being here, my most important one would be my spiritual growth. I've never really had a father I can rely on. Now I see God as my dad, because the reason why I see God as my dad is because Mr. Gary has been the dad that I need, and now I can picture God as my dad.
She has overcome so many obstacles, and I think she's got a bright future ahead of her, and has just impressed me just by her demeanor and her attitude and everything. She's just a good girl. I had a daughter, I'd want her to act just like Melody.
Children's Homes Incorporated, a rainbow of hope for children in need.